to do a full reaction of Europa League Matchday 1. Not go in depth with any of the individual games. We discussed Man United playing Twente yesterday, but I just want to do like a full reaction to everything that happened. And some interesting things. Mourinho and their Fenerbahce got a win. We obviously talk about United's past loss. Lazio got a good win as well. Tottenham was able to get a win as well. So there was there was a good piece of action from this Europa League. I do have to say, we just to summarize all the fixtures. AZ Alkmaar beat Elfsborg 3-2. Bodo Glimt got a surprise 3-2 win over Porto. Anderlecht defeated Ferencvaros 2-1. Lazio defeated Dynamo Kiev 3-0. Galatasaray defeated PAOK Athens 3-1. Nice and Sociedad stalemate 1-1. Ludogorets, Slavia Praha got a 2-0 win over Ludogorets. Midtjylland and Hoffenheim drew 1-1. United obviously drew with Twente. Rangers got a 2-0 win over Malmo. Fenerbahce got a 2-1 win over Union San Gilos. Roma and Athletic Club drew 1-1. Ajax got a 4-0 win over Besiktas. Braga got a 2-1 win over Maccabi Tel Aviv. And then Lyon got a 2-0 win over Olympiacos Piraeus. And Eintracht Frankfurt and Victoria Pilsen finished 3-3. And Tottenham got that 3-0 win over Carabao despite having Draugson sent off very early in that game. And then Steaua Bucuresti got a 4-1 win over Rigas Football Scola. I think Fenerbahce getting that 2-1 win over Union Saint Gilles was a good result for them. A good result for Mourinho after what happened this weekend when they went up against Galatasaray, that loss, and then everything that ensued after. Good response from Mourinho and his team. It was a good performance as well. Soyuncu, who actually got the score sheet, he scored the opener, and then Burgess had an own goal before Ross Sykes' goal right before the final whistle allowed Fenerbahce to go back to fly back to Turkey with the win. Really good result from them, and a good response to them from that loss. Talked about Lazio. Lazio now being managed by Marco Baroni. They got that. They got a 3-0 win over. They got a 3-0 win over Dynamo Kiev, and they played really good football. You had a brace from Boulaidia, and then Fisayo Dale Bashiru also scored. Lazio had a transition this summer with players that have been there for a while leaving. Luis Alberto, Ciro Immobile, and Philip Anderson, and there's been a little bit of transition for them, but they're starting to look solid. This is a good start for them in the Europa League as well. They had some, initially they had a few issues in the season, but recently it seems that they're starting to get on the right direction, and it's a good way to start off their Europa League campaign. We talked about United. I went on a rant about Manchester United. Flat out mediocre, unacceptable, pathetic, and it's always been like that with United. They're just flat out pathetic, and you can blame Erik ten Hag, but yeah, he's not part of the solution, but he's not the problem at United. He's not the problem at United. I'll say that. Athletic Club in Roma finished 1-1 as well. Obviously, this is a Roma team in a little bit of turmoil from how the season started, letting go of Daniel De Rossi as well, and the backlash that's been created because of it, because of how he, did a very good job at Roma last season, and not getting enough time to start off the season to turn around, which was a pretty poor start from them. But they got a win in Serie A, and then now they in heartbreaking fashion conceding later on. They only managed a point against Athletic Club, but I do have to say, playing at Stadio Olimpico and only getting 5 shots and 3 shots on target is not that impressive. But of course, they're a team in a little bit of a vulnerable position, so they're just looking to build something. So and going back to Athletic Club as well, Aitor Paredes getting that big goal from them, going away from home, getting a point at the Stadio Olimpico. But for Ivan Juric, new manager at Roma, I do have to say, I think with this first 2 games, getting that win, their first win in Serie A, and then as well, managing a point against an Athletic Club team that could be difficult to play against. Good start to him because, they were in turmoil. So, yeah. Tottenham, they won 3-0, and they did it in, it was a little bit of difficult circumstance. First of all, the game was delayed because of travel issues and all that. But it became really dicey and really tricky when Dragusin got sent off, red card 7 minutes in, and it put them in a very difficult position. This is, by the way, he's the first player ever to be sent off in his debut in a major European champion competition. And yeah, 7th minute is unbelievable. He gets caught on the ball. And obviously him trying to do a little bit too much to make up for that mistake. He fouls the player, is determined an obvious goal scoring opportunity because there's nobody behind him. He was the last man when he lost the ball. So it turned into a red card. But the big thing from Tottenham is, despite that red card, we know the issues that we've had from Tottenham, that we've seen so far from Tottenham, just not being able to get the goals in the back of the net, not being clinical enough, lacking that cutting edge. Well, they scored 3 goals again. And another big thing is Dominic Solanke as well, who's still trying to recover his form, got on the score sheet again for Tottenham. So for me, good results for Tottenham. Really good results for Tottenham as for me. Especially when you're playing the majority of the match with 10 men, that's never difficult. That's never easy. Brennan Johnson, he also had 30 goals in his 30 goal in 3 games. Pape Matarsar is the other person that scored, and obviously I talk about Solanke getting on the scoring sheet. The game was, I spoke a little bit about it earlier, but the game was actually delayed 35 minutes because of severe travel disruption, and Karabakh team was actually caught up in all the chaos because of the heavy rain in London at that time, just overall good win for Tottenham. When Postecoglou was talking after the game, he said the red card was not ideal. We started really sloppy, but the reaction afterwards was good. We wanted to press high even with 10 men. And that's the thing. We saw Tottenham against Chelsea last season, even down to 9 men. Postecoglou has a way of playing, and he's not gonna adapt. There's no plan B. So, there was no real surprise here that they continue to press high, that they continue to have, a relatively high line in this one, because that's just the way how it's going to go about it. He's going to live and die by that, by their style of play. And honestly, I'm not too critical about it, because a lot of the managers, they say they don't have plan B, and the plan B is to make plan A better. And that is what it is. the stubbornness sometimes, the stubbornness and the arrogance in a good way sometimes is what makes these top managers. And you can say that for, football players as well, or any profession, to be honest. A good level of arrogance in belief in what you're doing, can propel you to do it even better. So I have no problem with Postecoglou and how he continues to play, how he's playing, even in difficult circumstances.